We're back.
And fourth.
We're back.
And fourth.
We're back.
And fourth.
On this Erika Slezak issue. We got that to talk about, the whole Charles Mesure cryptic tweet, and a whole lot more on this week's Snarkcast. Stay tuned. Welcome back. It's Friday, 10/10, October 10th, 2025. And we're in season 2, episode 10, or for those who count the other way, this is episode 52. We'll keep track of both just for you. Oh, not as long as some others.
No, but for us, yeah.
And they're like on 1,436. I'm like, when did you start? So how are you? You were off last week. I was off last week.
And GH was off last week.
And GH was off.
I was going to say the baseball gods were very kind to us last week.
Yeah.
Both David and I were traveling. We were really stressing as to how we were going to snark Friday. And we didn't have to because baseball been very, very good to me. And we got Thursday off. So it worked out.
Yeah. And we're so used to our routine. I mean, you have to think about this. Every Friday is like a Monday to us because not only does either Mama Snark or myself snark on Friday morning, we record this Friday afternoon Eastern time. Then Mama Snark spends the majority of the rest of the day editing. And then at night, I got to wait till 8 o'clock for GH to come on Hulu so I can get that recap out late Friday night. So don't forget to like, follow, find us anywhere. We're almost everywhere. We're trying to come up with world domination, but we are on X, we are on Instagram, we are on Substack, we are on, of course, the main page, Facebook, and of course, this podcast reaches not only YouTube, but any of the other major streaming platforms that you may listen or watch to. So take a moment to click, and subscribe to everything.
We get notifications. Yeah.
Right. So you know what's coming up, and hopefully we've got some great stuff coming up, including, wasn't it fun to talk to Cyrus Hobby again?
Oh my gosh, he is so delightful and so deep. I mean, you think actors are flaky and they don't think about anything important? Wow, that interview with Cyrus sure shows you that these young men are really actively building their craft and assisting others in doing the same. And I was so impressed with him.
Yeah, it was a great conversation. Again, if you're a paid subscriber of Substack or a patron of the Facebook page, you've have got access to that. The rest of you just have to watch the little 8-minute Yuri interview we did. Yes, Mama Snark has branched out into fan fiction. Not only did she interview Yuri, she's been having teas and lunches with a whole bunch of characters.
Well, next week, we're going to have a really special little luncheon. And I have a partner in crime with this one. Let's just put it that way.
Anyway, where do you want to start this week?
I think we should start with Erika.
Yes. Okay,
not
good.
Vicky. Let's start with not Vicky.
Right.
Why do you hate it? Why do you hate it?
I was going to say, aren't you supposed to say the good stuff before the bad stuff?
No. I want to know why you hate it.
Bad news. I just feel like, and my Snark sister Amanda feels the same way, so I'm not alone on this. And I was very surprised when I posted that. I'm not usually scared to post things on our Facebook page, but that I was like, ooh, this is going to be in a very unpopular opinion. And it wasn't. It wasn't an unpopular opinion. It was highly, yes, you're right. I never thought I would say this. I felt Erika Slezak phoned it in. And I don't know if that's a combination of she hasn't done this in over 12 years. So she's not, and the pace on General Hospital filming wise is even faster than One Life to Live was. Maybe just being out of her element, being in California, being in a different studio. But I also blame the writing of this character. So far, there's nothing really, anybody could play this part. I don't know why it had to be, why did you have to get Erika Slezak to play this part? And I feel it's an insult to the actress that they saddled her with this sort of blah character. I mean, she's feisty in bits, but I see her pulling out Victoria Lord quirks and not really playing a completely different character, because it's not really completely different. Is this a Vicky Alter that we've not heard
That's
about?
what a lot
That
of
would be
people
believable.
a lot of people have suggested that. After the first day of not Vicky being there and coming in and being very meek and mild, and we had a conversation offline, and he said, "Bleh," and I went, it was okay, but I didn't hate it. And then the next day when we had I'm going to check the warrant and put my cute glasses on and kind of tell you that you can't do it. Okay, now she's feeling more like she's settled in a little bit more. And maybe it was because I met with her at Bobby's and had a long conversation, but I do enjoy her. And the whole thing is stupid. Okay, let's just start there. It's stunt casting. It's stupid. It didn't have to even occur. But Frank got this wild idea. Hey, we haven't thought about One Life to Live for a hot second. Let's bring Erika back. And for some reason, God bless her, she agreed to do it.
But if you're bringing people back, now here's the thing where it starts to stop making sense. Let's bring Nora Buchanan back. She's from the One Life to Live world. Let's bring Jackson Montgomery back. He's from the All My Children world. They've always sort of intermixed that. So, this murder mystery, I would say it's dragged out, but it's not even on screen half the time, although we did get back to it this week. However, did you notice the murder board never changes?
It never changes. No.
It's like she just moves push pins around. I never see her like putting
I
anything
actually
up.
said that on the page this morning.
Oh, did you? Oh, see, these minds are dead. Here's the other conundrum of the week. So, Chase is like, I should have stayed. Maybe I could, and Anna's like, no, probably wouldn't be ethical. It's good that you came back. Oh, wait, here's Dante. Dante, maybe you
go
could
check.
Chase,
you don't have to spy on your roommates, but Dante, could you spy on your roommates?
I did not get that. It's like, who's writing this show?
Somebody on the page said today, you guys wanted a murder mystery and now you have it and all you can do is complain about it. And that's not entirely true.
No.
Remember in the world of soaps, you have to move from one to the other, right? We had to do the whole Monica thing, which meant all the Drew murder mystery, which wasn't a murder, is in the back thing. But yesterday we had this whole review thing with Anna and Dante. So we have Carly as a suspect, we have Willow, we have Michael, and Curtis is still up there. Of course, we know now that
Nina's up there. Did we say her?
And Nina, and Nina's still up there too. But yesterday she focused on the three. She focused on Carly, Michael, and then they discovered that Willow's alibi blew up.
Right.
I'm so glad they're finally checking the cameras.
Well, and they're messing up my little murder timeline because Anna's like, look at this. Look, it's time stamped. I was like, tell me the time. I can add it to my murder timeline, but no. And I'm still not quite sure, or if they've said what time Willow originally left the hospital. She came back at 10:30.
Yeah, I don't know.
But what time did she? And I'm trying to remember where Nina was prior. She was with Portia having drinks at one point. And then, again, it's hard to go back and watch because Hulu doesn't keep more than 2 weeks up at a time. So it's not like I can find those scenes or anything, but I'm doing the best I can with my little murder timeline. So,
I don't see anything showing us who did it, although everyone seems to think it's Willow. When I do the polls, we have 95% of the people think it was Willow.
Yeah.
And I hope it is.
As it looks like Michael's setting up Willow.
Yeah.
Because I think he left the gun there.
Although somebody said maybe Carly left the gun there.
There you go.
We don't know. So it's still very much a whodunit.
There's still,
when you read a murder mystery, the clues line up and they review the clues. And when new clues are given, they fold them in. We haven't gotten that yet. We're getting bits and pieces. And
those Anna Chase scenes, since he seems to be the main confidant, or like I said on the page last week, when Anna and the ADA were going over the evidence. Like, that's good. You need that to kind of remind us, because not everybody is keeping a murder timeline like I am. But, you need that kind of going over the evidence or what happened. And you need these sort of red herrings, and
100%.
as mystery writer Henry Slezak used to say, some green herrings and some blue herrings to really throw you off. It feels like they're throwing us off because Carly and Michael both went to Liz's house, and Liz could also be a suspect, and Willow's living there, so, and Scout's there because some people said it's Scout, even though Scout was trying to call her father at the time of the murder.
Hi, Dad, pick up. I'm going to shoot you. Pick up.
Exactly. Yeah. That's good. That's good misdirection, but they're not pointing it up as misdirection.
Moving on, one other thing, because we missed last week, we didn't get to talk about Rick in the basement, which is my favorite plot that's going on.
Well, he's back in the basement.
Back in the basement. We had knives at throats. We had vodka in the eyeball. And then we had Rick with pills and a ball gag again. And I'm telling you, I love this story.
Why they didn't give him handcuffs in the first place, because that would have made more sense. Ava had that in her glove compartment than the ball gag. But I'm not Ava.
Well, Ava only had the fur-lined ones in her car.
Oh, there you
she
go.
didn't have the real ones.
So here's my question. Where did Ava come from? I assumed Alexis was home alone and Ava had left.
I think she just burst through the door. I don't know.
Where was she drinking? She apparently fixed herself a drink.
I'll be right over, Alexis. I got my beverage.
No, she was there, so that makes sense, but it's like, she didn't leave? She fixed herself a drink and went somewhere else in the house?
Well, and the only place she could have been where Alexis and Rick wouldn't have seen her is if she'd been upstairs.
Right.
But why would Ava be upstairs in Alexis's house?
Snoopy? I don't know. Snoopy sniffer, remember?
Anyway, that's why I love this storyline, is because it is so over the top ridiculous that it can't make sense.
Anyway, so who's your character of the week?
I think my character of the week is Spinelli. Now, remember, we're sort of combining the last 2 weeks together because we didn't record last week due to preemptions. I really thought about this morning because it would be normal to say, oh yeah, Ronnie was my favorite character of the week, but we've already talked about her, so no. Yeah. So that conversation that Spinelli had with Nathan and the way he circumvented Britt and all the obstacles, because what he really wanted to do was sit down and talk to Nathan. And I'm always struck by the goodness of Spinelli. Yes, he does illegal things for Jason and Sonny, but the man has a good heart. So there he is.
Oh, that's good. Mine was, and it's more like actor of the week, but Ryan Pavey as Nathan. Because if everybody remembers, when Ryan Pavey first came on the show, he had zero acting experience. He was a model. He was a professional male model. And, people reluctantly struggled because he was so beautiful to look at. And they were just like, I just wish his acting got better. Oh, and that scene was really flat. And it did. And it has. And when you look at it, he's picking up a character right where he left off. Yeah. He's got to play this
10
character.
Years ago? 10 years ago?
Or 7.
A long time.
He was killed off in January 2018. So from then to, mid-year 2025, 7.5 years. So picking up a character who's still very much rooted in what was going on in 2018. Remember, Peter was around back then. So, I don't know if there's much missing from his return. I would have liked to have seen him say, well, where's Peter? Or but apparently that was all addressed off screen in Secret Invisible episodes. Kudos to him for just picking up that character and moving right along and seamlessly. Like he fits back into the show very, very seamlessly, even though everybody's like, and there's still some people who probably don't know he's alive. I can't think who, but they haven't really talked about it much with Chase and Dante because Chase was Nathan's replacement.
That's right. So they don't know each other, but Dante and Nathan do. They were partners. Yeah. They were best friends. So this is interesting. Okay, so we've got
some stuff
more reveals. Yeah.
And I don't like this. I hope it's not true, but when it just seems like this is the overwhelming answer, he's Nathan with Cesar's brain. I hope this please don't go there.
Right. And please, for the love of all of Steve Hardy, do not use a playing card to trigger Faison's brain in a jar.
I did watch the soapy, the Rebecca Budig, Greg
Oh, yeah.
Reichart
Podcast.
It's on YouTube podcast, which is really good. I like to acknowledge other podcasts. Of course, it's produced by CBS, so it's going to look great. But Cameron Matheson was their guest, and he really goes into it and how much he's actually enjoying playing this, because with all the tragedies that has happened to him in the last several years, divorcing his wife and navigating that, putting his kids in school, the dog dying, the fire, which wiped out, like he said, everything I've ever owned. He goes, I was showing up on set, like I felt like I was in costumes because everything I was wearing to the set was new, because he basically had the outfit he had on and his wallet. But he talks about how, he talks about his past and his inner demons. And Rebecca Budig talks about how he's very zen in real life. And he's like, believe me, I've worked on myself. But he says he sort of realizes like he's really enjoying playing the bad guy. And he goes, and it's probably a way I'm channeling some of my inner anger.
Oh, good point. And that could be very healthy for him as well.
Yeah. He talks about that and talks about Frank, of course, a lot. An interesting note. He also texted Frank to get on the show.
Where's Frank's number? Is it on the internet somewhere? Can
apparently, apparently everybody loves Frank, which brings us to the big Charles Mesure.
Oh, yes.
Kerfuffle, which is going on currently online. Apparently, in the last couple of weeks, he posted something about the toxic backstage atmosphere.
Politics. Yeah, he used the word
and the politics of General Hospital, which of course goes against what they were saying when he left the show, which was basically saying, I think I'm a little too old to start learning new tricks. There's too much dialogue, the pace, I can't keep up. I'm better off in the primetime world. And there's nothing wrong with, admitting defeat. Soaps are hard. It's the hardest work an actor ever does. Think about it. You have to memorize so many lines and retain so much information and do this day in and day out. The minute a script is filmed, you're putting that down and you've got another script memorized and you're picking that up and you're just running.
You barely have time to clear your cache before you have to pick up the next and memorize that.
It's relentless. And there's been a lot of rumors the last several years revolving GH. There was a whole kerfuffle with Billy Miller leaving, with Kelly Monaco leaving. There were different stories rolling around there. That even happened with Tyler Christopher, who played Prince Nicholas. He showed up one day on set drunk and they were like, that's it. You got to go, because now he's holding up production, which costs money. Billy Miller was sort of let go, wanted to leave. And from what I've able to obtain, and again, these are all still rumors until somebody comes out and says definitively, but I tend to believe this story more than the others, just knowing what it's like being backstage on a show and the actor world. But Billy Miller was always sort of checked out. When Steve Burton came back and they decided to make him Jason again, Billy Miller really felt he was getting the short shrift. He didn't like the role anymore. He was sort of mentally checking out. And he always had one foot in primetime TV, and that's where he really wanted to be. And he was also bipolar, and he was self-medicating. And anyone can tell you in that world, when you're self-medicating, you're pretty erratic. So again, bad behavior. They just decided, let's part ways. We're gone. Kelly Monaco saw her part being diminished, which it was. We were even commenting at the time.
Sam was like nothing more than a housewife. Yep.
Yeah, she's doing cameos. She's the talk to for Dante when he comes home from work. But she was very vocal and supportive of Billy Miller. They did have a relationship. So not quite sure what happened there. But as Mama has pointed out, it's given the show a lot of story to kill off a major character like Sam. As a business person, sometimes you have to cut your losses. Now, in the case of Charles Mesure, it's the same thing. Why are you coming back now and being sort of sour grapes about a role you left over half a year ago. And as an actor, and if you notice, Kelly Monaco has said, I will tell the story, I will tell the story, I will tell the story. She's never told the story, probably because she's smart and she realizes if she starts telling the story, whatever that story may be, she's going to
blow up her career.
She'll be, nobody will want to work with her.
Yeah.
And for Charles Mesure to do this, nobody's going to want to work with him. So I'm not sure why he's doing it or what it even means. But for some reason...
Can I ask some clarifying questions? I'm going to ask some clarifying questions.
Please, yes.
He tweeted this comment or was he quoted?
I believe he tweeted it. Yes, okay. He was in response. It was in response to a fan or somebody asking a question about why he left the show. And then Laura Wright, Carly, put something about, well, it's in his interview, referring to the interview he made at the time he left, which was very much, this is hard for me. I'm an old dog, can't learn new tricks. So, and
he read the script well, in other words.
Yes. And I mean, to be honest, actors aren't always nicey. As much as we love certain celebrities, they're not always the nicest people in the world. And believe me, from working in that world and from encountering that world as a fan, there was a singer one time who was doing an appearance in a nightclub and was doing an autograph session. And I came in hours after the autograph session. He was still in the nightclub. And I recognized him and I said, oh, hey, you're so-and-so, not naming names here. And the first response was, oh, I'm not giving autographs. And I'm like, I wasn't asking for one. I was just saying hello. So, so somebody I really loved, that did it. Like, no way. And I will name the second celebrity fan encounter because it was a good one. But I was never a big fan of the actress Audra McDonald, who a lot of you know from Broadway and The Gilded Age and many Tony nominated, Tony winner. Yeah. I was never a big fan of hers. And then she was at a gala event. She was one of the I don't know if she was the host or she was one of the guest stars. It was Straight for Equality Ally event. Might as well get a picture because, So I went up and we got a picture and we started talking. And ever since then, I've loved Audra McDonald. If you meet these people in real life, Charles Mesure could be the sweetest guy on earth. Or he could be a dick, frankly. We don't know.
We don't know.
What we do know is we've got conflicting stories. And I don't know if we'll ever know the real reason, but...
Well, what we do know is we have humans doing human things, which means
exactly.
They make mistakes, they hurt people, probably not intentionally, but we won't know.
Right. So anyway, that's all we'll have to say about that.
David, do you have a soap recommendation for us this week?
I do, and I went with low-hanging fruit this week.
Oh, good.
We're still on the murder theme, but let's lighten it up a little. And I'm sure many of you already watch this show because it's very, very popular. And it's on Hulu, where a lot of you watch General Hospital. Only Murders in the Building.
Yes, I love that show. Love it.
Now in season 5. There's still got a few more weeks to go on that. I've got to catch up. But it's just a delight. And the murder mysteries are clever.
They are very clever. Very, very clever.
And for me, who lives in New York and is a big Broadway fan and sees a lot of shows and knows a lot of the Broadway celebrities, it's just a treat, just like The Gilded Age, to watch all these Broadway stars do these great television turns. But I don't really think I have to go into much more on that because, like I said, it's a very popular show. But if you want a more lighthearted approach to murder, and again, very clever murder mysteries. I haven't caught season 4 yet, so I got to catch up season 4, season 5. But the
you
first
will really
3
like
seasons,
season 4 because
no, I know I've heard that. I'm so behind on things, but the first 3 were very cleverly done. And what you want out of a good murder mystery is, oh my God, I would never have guessed that, but it makes sense.
Exactly, yeah. And they do that so beautifully amidst all the incredibly clever dialogue. All the physical humor you get from Steve Martin, who is hilarious. And of course, the adorable Martin Short and Selena Gomez. It's fantastic. Watch it, you guys.
Absolutely. And for those who have Apple TV, there is a great 2-part documentary on Steve Martin. I learned so much about this man's life from watching the documentary that I had no clue about. And he's very open
remarkable. Yeah.
and very funny. And I mean, this guy's done everything from like released albums with Edie Brickell, had a Broadway show, has written children's books, adult books, memoirs. I mean, the man is just, he's a Renaissance man.
He is.
And he's just so kind
hilarious.
and caring and funny and hilarious. And speaking of hilarious, are there any text messages this week?
I have text messages from Wicked Stepmother. She says, this was Wednesday, after watching Wednesdays, Ronnie has definitely replaced her sister in Tracy's crosshairs. Oh, meaning replaced from Monica.
Yes.
It's going to be fun watching Ronnie give as good as she gets. Let the games begin. And then I sent her the Substack article I wrote yesterday about Mama's lunch date with Ronnie. And she said, oh, that was such a great chat with Ronnie. Even more reason for, I can't say the rest because it will spoil what's coming. No spoilers, sweetie. Okay, so that's text messages from Wicked Stepmother.
Nice. All right, well, hey, thanks for joining us as always. And please like, subscribe, all the aforementioned, earlier mentioned places and things. And hey, comment. We love comments.
Yeah.
We love to read them. And as you can see, we do respond to them. So comment away. And I'll be having another late night, writing my recap. So look forward to that. And of course, on Tuesdays, the Old Lady Podcast.
Yep.
We will see you next week, right here, same time, same bat channel. Bye.
Bye-bye.